Hello, my name is Tracy Riem, and I did my lesson plan on the book It Looked Like Spilt Milk. The items that you need for this plan are the book, of course, a blue piece of paper for each child, a straw for each child, a cotton ball for each child, and white paint. The first thing I'm going to do is, as I have my children sitting down in circle, I would hand them each a cotton ball to hold on to. Again, some children are fidgety. This might be a good sensory object for them to hold on to, and I want them to hold on to it throughout the story. The story It Looked Like Spilt Milk was written and illustrated by Charles Shaw. Sometimes it looked like spilt milk, but it wasn't spilt milk. Sometimes it looked like a rabbit, but it wasn't a rabbit. Sometimes it looked like a bird, but it wasn't a bird. Sometimes it looked like a tree, but it wasn't a tree. Sometimes it looked like an ice cream cone, but it wasn't an ice cream cone. Who likes ice cream cones? Raise your hand if you like ice cream cones. Yum. Sometimes it looked like a flower, but it wasn't a flower. Sometimes it looked like a pig, but it wasn't a pig. Sometimes it looked like a birthday cake, but it wasn't a birthday cake. Sometimes it looked like a sheep, but it wasn't a sheep. What does a sheep say? Bah, bah. Sometimes it looked like a great horned owl, but it wasn't a great horned owl. A great horned owl is a big bird, an owl, and he says, whoo, whoo. Sometimes it looked like a mitten, but it wasn't a mitten. Sometimes it looked like a squirrel, but it wasn't a squirrel. Sometimes it looked like an angel, but it wasn't an angel. Sometimes it looked like spilt milk, but it wasn't spilt milk. It was just, what? Right, it was just a cloud in the sky. All of those things that you might see in the sky, the clouds might look like different things when you look up at them. So the reason I gave a cotton ball is because to me, when I think of a cloud, it feels and looks like a soft white cotton ball. So now we are going to do an art project that might look like a cloud in the sky, and you're going to be able to create your own cloud with white paint. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to give you a blue piece of paper with a glob of white paint. You're going to take your straw and you're going to blow that white paint as far as you can all over the paper. After you have blown your white paint, you're going to turn your paper around and see what you think your picture might look like. I'm thinking maybe a butterfly, if we give him some antennas. Maybe a set of lungs inside of our body. It could be anything that you'd want. So you will take your picture and you're going to think about what your cloud looks like on your art project. After they have done their art project, they've dried. We come back to the circle area to do the closing circle. Then I would have the chart paper that says, what does your cloud look like? And I would have each of them share and hold up their artwork and share, and I would write down what each of their clouds, what they said each of their clouds looked like. The domains that were addressed in this lesson were Domain 4, language and literacy. And with that comes listening and understanding, demonstrating understanding when listening. The benchmarks are engages in multiple back and forth conversations with adult and peers throughout the questions that I've asked through the book. Shows understanding by answering factual, predictive, and inferential questions. Increases knowledge through listening. Demonstrating an increased ability to focus and sustain attention. Vocabulary such as the great horned owl, where I told them what it might be because they don't know what that is, chances are. Emergent reading shows motivation for and appreciation of reading. A benchmark there would be makes real world connections between stories and real life experiences. So we have all seen clouds up in the sky in real life, and putting this story and real life experiences together would help meet that domain. And then demonstrating a comprehension of read aloud books also. Another domain that is covered in this lesson is Domain 6, which is scientific inquiry, Earth and space science, demonstrating a knowledge related to the dynamic properties of Earth and sky. And then a benchmark would be beginning to explore and discuss simple observations of characteristics and movements of the clouds, the sun, the moon, and the stars. And then another domain that would be covered in this lesson would be Domain 8, creative expression through the arts, which would cover our art project. And A, sensory experience, combining an intention, a variety of open-ended, process-oriented, and diverse art materials to create their very own cloud project and decide what it looks like in their mind. The objectives that were covered in this lesson were to expand his or her vocabulary, enjoy reading or being read to, observe that the written language is read from left to right and moves from top to bottom and front to back, creating their own cloud through art, and being able to retell the stories through sequence cards later on throughout the day. I would have sequence cards laid out for them. So after reading the book, doing the art project, and charting what their cloud art looked like, I would take them outside and we would lay on the grass and look up at the sky and see what kinds of clouds we see as far as what they might look like. If a child might see a bunny up in the sky, or a child might see a tree or an elephant up in the sky. That would give them an idea of different things that helps them relate to the story. So again, my story was It Looked Like Spilt Milk. Great story. And that was my creative plan. Thank you.